Hey friends, thanks for joining us today. I appreciate you watching and spending some time with us tagging along in our homestead happenings. Today we are going to talk about tomato supports and how I control our jungle of tomatoes that we end up with every year. Today I'm over at the big garden. As you can see, I am going to get to work here on getting some tomato supports in that row. I've already got my T-posts laid out along the length of the row, so it saves me some steps. Got my post driver. Nothing to it but to do it. Let's get going. Okay, I got all my stakes in that I have. I only had 12 of the real heavy stakes that I use because I use most of them to begin with to set up my deer fence. They are a little bit heavier. I think they're actually for electrical fencing because the regular T-posts that you get nowadays are kind of chintzy, and I just don't like wasting my money on junk. So that's why I got those posts. I've got some that are 5 or 6, I would say 5 to 7 feet tall is the size that I use. So my next step, now that I have my posts in, is to secure some of these hog panels to the posts. So I use this because it's going to last. It's not something I need to buy every year, and it just has worked really well for me. Personal preference, but I do recommend getting colored zip ties. Makes the work go a little faster. It's a little more fun to look at. Just an insider tip. Of course, I put the first one on backwards. Good sign. There we go. Easy fix. Let's talk tomatoes. I've got our supports up. I'm ready to plant. Last year I planted and then put the supports up, and I found it to be a little bit annoying. So I'm trying it this way this year with support first, plant second. These plants, they're just saying, please plant me, please plant me. They've been in these cells for way too long. Way too long. But they'll bounce back. They'll be okay. They're trying to set roots everywhere they can. So I'm gonna help them out. I'm going to start with my snacker tomatoes, which I plant 3 varieties. So baby cakes, which is a cherry, totally round. Pear, which is a yellow pear, looks like a pear. And then I've got Juliet, which is a grape tomato. Basically just the shape of it. Okay, so on these panels, I'm going to keep going here, but on these panels, I generally will get about 4 tomato plants to each panel. I do 1 on each end and then space them out in the middle. So it really is an effective way to support a lot of tomatoes with really, compared to cages, minimal work. A little bit of an investment, but really a pretty good system in my opinion. So I like to do my ends first, and then I'll go to the middle just so I get my spacing right. So one thing that I would like to mention, just in case I forget to do this later in the season, as these plants grow, I will use twine. It's just baler string. I have a big roll of it. I keep it in a crate and I carry it around with me. That's my life. But I will use that to support the plants as they're growing up, but also as they're growing, I'll kind of weave them in and out of the panel, and that just gives you a little bit of extra security. So over here I've got my tree tags, which I've talked about before for peppers, but this makes it really easy for me to just kind of fasten this on the top of the panel where a variety starts, and then I'll just go right down with all my varieties, which I've got, I want to say 10 or 11. We'll see. I don't know. I think tomato math is kind of like chicken math. I hate chickens, but I love plants. All right, so I've got as many tomato plants planted here as I can right now for the support that I've got, and I planted 27 plants in this space, which I think is pretty good. I definitely will be making a run for more hog panels and stakes so I can finish up my planting. I have a total of 73 tomato plants that need to go in here, so I definitely still have some work to do, but we made a good dent in it today. I hope learning about the support was helpful. I know, like I said, there's many different ways that you can do it, but like, this is just what works for us, so that's what we go with. Every year you learn a little bit more, something different. Like, you always have to try different things. Not everything works, but that's okay. That's part of it. That's part of the fun. So I just want to take a moment to thank you all for watching, hanging out with us today. I hope you'll consider subscribing, and we'll see you next time, hopefully. Have a great day.